Welcome. Welcome to a short presentation on the reading skills. This presentation is meant for the first and the second year English honors students belonging to National University. From the presentation, we'll get to know about some challenges we encounter while reading a piece of writing. Learning English involves all four language skills which are fundamental to speak and understand a language. These four skills are listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Six essential skills for reading comprehension. At a glance, reading comprehension can be challenging. We must master a number of key skills like decoding to fully understand what we are reading. There are ways that can help build these skills. Some people may think of the act of reading as a straightforward task that's easy to master. In reality, reading is a complex process that involves many different skills. Together, these skills lead to the ultimate goal of reading comprehension or understanding what's been read. Reading comprehension can be challenging for lots of reasons. What of the cause, knowing the skills involved, and which ones we struggle with can help a lot. Here are six essential skills which are needed for reading comprehension, and there are also some tips on what can help us improve this skill. Number one, decoding. Decoding is a vital step in the reading process. We use this skill to sound out words we've heard before but haven't seen written out. The ability to do that is the foundation for other reading skills. Decoding relies on an early language skill called phonemic awareness. This skill is part of an even broader skill called phonological awareness. Phonemic awareness lets us hear individual sounds and words known as phonemes. It also allows us to play with sounds at the word and syllable level. Decoding also relies on connecting individual sounds to letters. For instance, to read the word sun, we must know that the letter S makes the sound, grasping the connection between a letter or group of letters and the sounds they typically make is an important step toward sounding out words. What can help? Most of us pick up the broad skill of phonological awareness naturally by being exposed to books, songs, and rhymes, but some don't. One of the early signs of reading difficulties is trouble with rhyming, counting syllables, or identifying the first sound in a word. Number two, fluency. To read fluently, we need to instantly recognize words, including words you cannot sound out. Fluency speeds up the rate at which you can read and understand text. It's also important when we encounter irregular words like of and the, which cannot be sounded out. Sounding out or decoding every word can take a lot of effort. Word recognition is the ability to recognize whole words instantly by sight without sounding them out. When we can read quickly and without making too many errors, we are fluent readers. Fluent readers read smoothly at a good pace. They group words together to help with meaning and they use the proper tone in the voice when reading aloud. Reading fluency is essential for good reading comprehension. What can help? Word recognition can be a big obstacle for struggling readers. Average readers need to see a word 4 to 14 times before it becomes a sight word they automatically recognize. Most of us struggle with reading fluency. As with other reading skills, we need lots of specific instruction and practice to improve word recognition. The main way to help build fluency is through practice reading books. It's important to pick out books that are at the right level of difficulty for us. Number three, vocabulary. To understand what we're reading, we need to understand most of the words in the text. Having a strong vocabulary is a key component of reading comprehension. We can learn vocabulary through instructions, but to typically learn the meaning of words through everyday experience and also by reading. What can help? The more words we're exposed to, the richer our vocabulary becomes. We can build our vocabulary by having frequent conversations on a variety of topics. We can include new words and ideas. Telling jokes and playing word games is a fun way to build this skill. Reading together every day also helps improve vocabulary. When reading aloud, we can stop at new words and define them. But we can also read alone, even without hearing a definition of a new word. We can use context to help figure it out. Number four, sentence construction and cohesion. Connecting ideas within and between sentences is called cohesion. Understanding how sentences are built might seem like a writing skill, but these skills are important for reading comprehension as well. Knowing how ideas link up at the sentence level helps us get meaning from passages and entire texts. It also leads to something called coherence, or the ability to connect ideas to other ideas in an overall piece of writing. What can help? Explicit instructions can teach the basics of sentence construction. For example, teachers can work with students on connecting two or more thoughts through both writing and reading. Number five, reading and background knowledge. Most readers relate what they have read to what they know. So it's important to have background or prior knowledge about the world when you read. We also need to be able to read between the lines and pull out meaning even when it's not literally spelled out. Take this example. A child is reading a story about a poor family in the 1930s. Having knowledge about the Great Depression can provide insight into what's happening in the story. The child can use that background knowledge to make inferences and draw conclusions. What can help? We can build knowledge through reading, conversations, movies and TV shows, and art. Life experience and hands-on activities also build knowledge. We can expose ourselves to as much as possible and talk about what we have learned from experiences we have had together and separately. We can make connections between new knowledge and existing knowledge. And we can try to answer open-ended questions that require thinking and explanations. Number six, working memory and attention. These two skills are both part of a group of abilities known as executive function. They are different but closely related. When you read, attention allows us to take in information from the text. Working memory allows us to hold on to that information and use it to gain meaning and build knowledge from what we are reading. The ability to self-monitor while reading is also tied to that. We need to be able to recognize when you do not understand something. Then you need to stop, go back and read to clear off any confusion we may have. What can help? There are many ways you can improve our working memory. Skill builders do not have to feel like work either. There are a number of games and everyday activities that can build working memory without even knowing it. To increase our attention, we can look for reading materials interesting or motivating. For example, some of us may like graphic novels. We can stop and read it when something is not clear. And we can demonstrate how we think aloud when you read to make sure what you're reading makes sense. Thank you for being with me. I'm grateful to Andrew M.I. Lee, JD, who has helped me a lot to prepare the presentation. Thank you so much.